Looking good. Welcome to the weekly deep dive. As you may know, these videos do not have any editing, do not have any different like. There's your dopamine receptors are not going to be hit. Okay, that's what I'm basically saying. So if you can't last to the end of the video, just don't watch it at all. Today, it's no joke. I'm going to talk to you about as an 18-year-old. I've never given my first kiss. I've never had my first relationship. Never. For most people, I bet they say like, "What an absolute loser, bro! What an absolute sucker!" Though judgment is on you, whatever you think is depends on your ideas. I think it might have led me to a better place than I ever thought I would liked. To let you started with all my traumas and all my, excuses and bases for leading me up to this point, which my parents were probably very upset if they're watching this. They're probably like, "Ain't no way, bro. This kid, bro, gets no hugs, bro. Ain't no way." And so, probably very upsetting because my parents know I don't do much outside, like socially. Like, I go out with friends or whatever, but I just don't go to parties. I just don't do anything like that. I'm not that type of guy. I'm pretty much I'm an introvert, but I can be an extrovert if I need to. I don't know, it's just something I can switch up like that. Here's the point. My mom has raised me up as a very perfectionist mother, where any mistake you make or anything you miss is going to be punished. I used to have a horrible relationship with my mom. Oh, by the way, if you want to go more into depth of everything and all the details, you can go check out the link in my bio, which is gonna bring you to my blog post. That's it. No more ads, guys. That had led me to every time I did something wrong, it was like I needed to get, I needed to not do that again. And every time I did it, my mom will yell at me, have argument with me, punish me, or like ground me for whatever it was. And to a point where that kind of became my understanding. Hey, I kind of gotta be perfect. I kind of gotta live the perfect life. I kind of have to do all the right things. And to get to this point, and I know it might sound like super easy, but to get to the point where I'm starting the camera, I have no idea what I'm going to say. I'm just going to turn the camera. Getting to the point I'm trying to be a perfectionist is really hard. Getting to the point where I'm turning on the camera, I'm turning all the things. At first, it doesn't make sense, and that's something we're going to talk about in another YouTube video. So if you want to go ahead and like and subscribe, I'm done with the ads. But what I actually mean is that the taking the first step is actually harder than you can imagine. And it's probably the hardest step out of any step you're going to take. Sometimes not. But as a profession, as when if I told you every time I see you and I tell you what's wrong with you, with your outfit, with your looks, with what you're doing, with how you speak, with how you say, that's how it felt with my grandmother and my mother all the time. Because they're exactly, you know, they criticize the same. So when I didn't spend time with my mom, I was spending time with my grandma, and my grandma would criticize mine. She would criticize my height. Sometimes she would criticize my hair. My mother will criticize more of my aspects of life, while my grandmother criticize my how's it called my physical aspects of life. So for a long time, I was into this procrastination of I need to be perfect, I need to do this, I need to do that, where I fell into a loophole where I just couldn't get out. For a long time, I just didn't know what to do with my life. I didn't know where to start. I didn't know where to change. I have no idea how it happened, but it did. I did change. And if you want to know how bad my life is, like I said, go check out the blog. I'm not like trying to add or doing ads or sponsoring. I'm just trying to tell you, like, hey, if you want to know more, just go over there because I'm not sharing it all here. To me, for a long time, and this perfectionism happened throughout the years, I did a crazy thing in my seventh grade where when I was addicted to pornography, when I was all messed up in my life, where I wanted to literally myself, um, I was drinking wine at night. I mean, I'm telling you, I was seventh grade. I was 12 years old, or something like that, 12 to 13 years old. I was literally drinking wine. I was drinking a bunch of pills and going to sleep at 4 a.m. in the morning while watching porn. I will wake up early in the morning to watch porn. I will come from home from school, eat hot pockets, and watch my Xbox. Play my Xbox, whatever it is. Watch my Warzone videos. You can go check out my Warzone videos from back then, literally on this channel. And so this loop of things and my procrastination and my perfectionism, it just felt like I was never enough. And oftentimes, when I do things in my life, I just don't feel like I'm doing enough. I don't feel like I'm good enough. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm not doing enough. Sometimes I watch this video. I should have gone to bed 2 hours ago, and I'm doing this video 2 hours too late. And to me, it just sounds like, man, you suck. You did it again. Instead of being like, at least I'm here with my video. I know I'm not gonna have a lot of sleep, but hey, you know what? Tomorrow's a new day. I'm gonna make it work tomorrow. I'm gonna correct my errors, and that's how you should look at it. And what does it all have to do with me not kissing anybody? Because at the end of the day, it was all about me. When I started to think about relationships, I started to think about how perfect I wanted to be. If I wouldn't listen, and I think this goes for everybody, anybody that's watching these videos, whether you're a girl or you're a woman, you're a woman or you're a man, and that's all I'm gonna mention. Okay, don't ban me. That's all I'm gonna mention for now. If you're a woman or a man, I think you can go by this advice. This is my quote, all right? So I'm gonna keep it to myself. I'm putting copyright on this thing. Keep it away from you. If you wouldn't date yourself, why would you be dating in the first place? Think about it. If you were the girl version of yourself, would you be dating yourself, and why? Why and why not? Oftentimes, I think a lot of people, for ego or for, confirming themselves, they're gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna date myself, of course. Like I'm hot, like I'm the hot chick, like you know what I'm saying, like I'm good. But what value do you bring offer apart from your looks? What's the value you offer? Because at the end of the day, when you need to teach your grandchildren, when you need to teach your children, your beauty, your handsomeness is not gonna take care of it. And that to me, I thought about it. As a perfectionist and as an overthinker, I have thought about every single part. I have thought about that when I have my wife, I want her to be like the happiest woman in the world. I just don't understand how anybody can get married and be like, you know what, I'm just here for her body. Or get in a relationship and be like, yeah, I'm just here just to one night stand and go out. I just don't understand that. I just don't understand how you can look at a woman who you want to spend the rest of your life and be like, I don't want to take care of her. For me, it's just like, whether you think it's sexist or whatever it is, I look at my wife and I feel like, you know what? I want to take care of her. Like, I want to make sure that she's good. I want to make sure that she knows that I'm going to be taking care of her in every aspect of her way. If she wants to start a new business, I'm gonna have the money. If she wants to go to whatever college she wants to go, I'm gonna have the money. I do not care. Like she is the wife of my life. I don't want to I don't understand if you know, but if you don't value yourself, why do you expect them to value? So to me, it's like, until I don't understand my value, until I don't understand who I am, I don't want to be with nobody. Because I don't want to be to a point where you don't understand your own value, you don't understand who you are, and you don't understand who you're dating, to the point they're going to cheat on you, or you're going to have a really bad relationship, or you're going to get divorced. 50% of marriages in the United States end up in divorce. 50. That's like flipping. Every time you flip a coin, that's a marriage right there. To me, it's just like, you can't gamble like that in life. To me, it's like, dude, if I could just have, like, I don't know if you can picture this, but to you, isn't it like, and I'm not saying I'm Romeo, I'm not saying I'm a Disney character, but is it not the most romantic thing to just have one person for the rest of your life? Your first kiss, your first time, your first relationship, and the rest of your life. That person. And I think that's what describes love is patience. Because if love was impatient, like most of the kids in my high school, they already have a 2-3 body count. Most of the girls in my high school have a 1 to 2 body count. To me, it's just like, if love is patient, that's not the first thing. The first thing is them. When you're in a relationship, the first thing is the other person. But you gotta take care of yourself also. Like, I understand. Like, actually, let me rewind that. I just contradicted myself. Take care of yourself so you can take care of them. But if you don't know how to take care of yourself, you can't take care of them. And that's what I have learned with me. That's why I clean my room. That's why I like to dress nice in here, because I like to take care of myself. That's why I like to clean my bedroom. That's why I like to clean my room. That's why I like to have things organized. That's why I how's it called? I do my bed every day, and it's not something I'm flexing. It's not something I'm saying. I do it for me. The cameras are off most times. They're not watching what I'm doing. But most of the times I do it for me because I want to feel good. I want to feel clean. I want to feel like I have a good space where I can work out, where I can do my Bible studies, where I can do my videos, where I can do what I need to do. And I think most people forget what is to value themselves. Have you seen that guy that's literally like so desperate for a girlfriend that when he gets a girlfriend, it's literally like his girl puts him on a leash, literally like he's a little dog, because he doesn't know what to do with his life. He needs to be guided by somebody who values that person more than they do them. So let's say my friend, right? He's a him, okay? We need to clarify now that nowadays, but he's a him. He gets put on a leash by a girl, but he needs to get lead where to go. He needs to get pulled. Sometimes dogs pull, so he needs to get pulled in the right direction because he doesn't value himself. Because he's not a dog. Let me tell you, he's not a dog. He's a person. Imagine putting a person on the leash. That's what I'm saying. He doesn't know where to go with his life because he doesn't value his life, because he doesn't have direction in his life, because he doesn't have a purpose in his life, to the point that he needs somebody else to do it, which values him more. But at the end of the day, when the person gives up, you're gonna be that dog running away, being scared of what to do. Because when they leave you in the middle of the road, you're not gonna have anywhere to go. You don't know where to go. You don't know what to do with your life, and that's why you're gonna have to chase another owner. That's why you're gonna have to chase another person, because you do not know what to do with your life, and the unfulfillment and the emptiness. You don't want to live with that emptiness, so you go look around for what to find. Isn't that sad? Most people don't understand who they are. They don't understand their limit. They don't understand their potential. They don't understand who they can be. And what does it all have to do with me not kissing somebody? Because first of all, it's been because I my freshman and sophomore years, because I was scared. But once I started getting confidence in myself, I started saying, either way, I don't want to do it. Either way, I want to wait for the right girl. I want to wait for one day where, like, to me, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be super successful with whatever I have. I just don't understand how there's marriages. I always hear there's something like, oh, I wish I could go to Cancun. I wish I could go to um Bahamas. I wish I could go to the Bahamas. I wish I could go to Europe. I wish I didn't spend all my money on that cruise. I wish this and that. I'm like, you know, like if I had a wife, I just couldn't hear her like that. I slap her right now. I'm joking. I literally will be like, I felt awesome, because I want us to go around the country. I want us to go around the world. I want us to go to cruises. I want us to have private jets. I want us to do all that. Of course, I don't want to be selfish with all the money. I still care about like people that don't have anything. I have that in my mind. But that has always led me into my value. When I found that there was nobody left in my life, and this is what I'm going to talk about, the poor people. When I found that there was nobody left in my life, that no one was willing to help me, that no one was willing to get me up, that's when I realized what I want to do for others. And once you start serving others, you can start serving yourself even better. I gotta turn this off. Make sure the camera's still working. Okay. If you hear like a little weird noise, this is my speakers. It's messed up. I know I bought cheap speakers, so they sound horrible. Okay. But anyway, once you start seeing the things that bad happen in your life, the things that throw you into the ground, that's when you start also seeing what you want to do for other people. When you feel that you lack love, instead of resenting that or having anger and wanting to one day take revenge, instead say, what one day do I want to teach my kid? What one day I want to teach another friend to not do this? What one day I want to show my wife that we can do? Because I just don't understand how people can just hop into relationship to other relationship. To me, it's just like, isn't it so precious? to just, it's like finding it's like finding that one childhood game. You don't want to get rid of it. And I'm not saying, I'm not comparing objects to women here. All right, chill, chill, chill. But I'm just saying, like, you find that childhood game. I still have my Max Steel. It's right there, it's sitting right there. I see it right now. I have that since I was like 6 years old. I am not selling that Max Steel. You listen to me. I ain't never giving that Max Steel away. Maybe one day, right? When I can move on from my childhood, but I just can't. I love that Max Steel. In the same way, I just don't understand how you can see the, like, just a girl or a guy that you just, that you know, like, I could spend my life with them. Like, I don't have a problem with that. And instead go to other cheap options that know they don't fit you, that you know it's not for you, and yet you hop on that. You know it's not right because your intentions weren't right, their intentions weren't right. You were dating potential, which potential means gambling. That's what it means. Don't gamble on relationships. Don't date potential. Sometimes I want to date potential, but at the end of the day, I'm saying, like, I'm not really loving them. I'm loving a version I think I can have of them, and that's controlling. That's manipulating. I'm gonna have to manipulate them. I'm gonna have to control them to get them there. That's gonna be a toxic relationship, and they're gonna, and then you're gonna make them addicted because they're gonna think, oh, I'm getting better with them. I need them for my life, and that's a toxic relationship. So be careful with that. Be careful with a relationship. I've seen those people like in Instagram that they be like dating a fat girl and they be texting their friends like, yo, I can get this girl like fit and she'll be super beautiful. And then like 6 months later, she's beautiful. But you just built a toxic relationship. Or maybe it is healthy. It can be healthy sometimes, you know? But most times I'm going to say no. And how can I say this without a relationship? Because I had so much time to watch games, I became the coach. I just took that out of my ass right now. But anyway, the thing is that you have the right to listen to anybody's advice. You have the right to think on yourself. You don't have to listen to me. You don't have to hear me out. You don't have to take my advice in. But maybe just sit on that for a second. Chew on it for a second. What am I saying? Like a person that never had a relationship, never had a kiss, is telling you all of this. Could it be that I messed up? Could it be that you messed up? Could it be that one of us messed up? You know, it shows that there's statistics that it shows that there's two people that didn't mess up, and the third one is the one that you're gonna send this to that messed up. It's not me, it's not you, so it's gonna be the one that you send it to. Yeah, I don't know what I just did. Anyway, the thing is, again, I just never really felt. At first, I was like in freshman year, on my 8th grade, I was like, dude, I gotta get my first kiss. Like, I'm getting old. And now I'm 18 years old. I just say, whatever. If this is the right girl, she won't care. A lot of times I heard like, oh, you got no experience, or you got no idea. But I'm like, well, if this is the right girl, she won't care. In fact, we'll work on it together. We'll be a team because that's what it is. We're working as a team. It's between me and her. It's what we built up. With all our mistakes, with all our issues, we love each other. That's unconditional love. We no matter what's on the way, we no matter what obstacles on the way, we're still going strong together. It wasn't till death do me apart. It was till death do us apart. Us. It's a commitment between me and her. For me, in that case, it can be between you and that person and that guy. So all I'm saying here is that to people, it can care. People can think it's horrible. Oh wow, this guy wasted his years of high school, whatever it is. I don't go partying. I care about my business. I care about what I do in my life. I care that one day I can provide everything that I need for my wife. You know, I can give her the best life I can give her. I can give us the best quality of life I can give both of us. And I can understand my value. Because if I'm not willing to go to the gym now, if I'm not willing to start my business now, if I'm not willing to do the work now, why do I expect that when I get somebody, I'm gonna start doing the work then? It doesn't work like that. It starts with you. Oftentimes people ask God to win the lottery, but when they win the lottery, they forget who gave it to them. And oftentimes, if you check the statistics, most people that win the lottery end up broke, in bankrupt, bankrupt. Search it up. Search it up. Most people that win the lottery end up bankrupt. And why is that? Because people weren't ready for the money. The perfect person can come into your life, but because you're so messed up in your mindset, in your goals, in your values, in your purpose, in your meaning, in your life, in your ways, in your actions, in your mindset, you're going to lose the lottery and you're going to be worse off. When my wife comes, I know dang well I ain't missing that lottery ticket. I'm gonna take it and we gotta invest in our future. That's what I'm gonna be doing. So I don't care if I haven't given my first kiss. I don't care if I haven't had my first relationship. I don't know if you care. I don't know if you want to judge in the comments, whatever it is. I do not care because I know my value. And the fact that you want to show crap shows me your value. Thank you. I don't know. Thank you guys.